Networking and marketing made simple is for you, the business owner who has a product, a service, or a message that you believe in. My name is Scott Aaron, and each week we'll take a behind-the-scenes look into the real-world marketing and networking tactics and strategies for getting what you have in front of you to a lot more people. Thanks for spending time with me, and now let's get started. Super excited for you to hear today's amazing episode. But before I jump into that, I have so many people that reach out to me and ask, how do I start a podcast? What do I need to do? And what you guys listen to, wherever you're listening to this from, if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, in my opinion, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. It's one of those things where I jumped into it because it has everything that I needed in one place. And that's what I loved about it. The tools that allow you to record and then edit your podcast from your phone or your computer, which is so accessible. But also, when you actually host your podcast on Anchor like I do, you can distribute that podcast on all the listening platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, all the different big ones that people are listening to. It's all from here. And it's everything that you need to make a podcast in one place. And the other great thing is, and why I always suggest it to people, it's absolutely free. And this is the easiest thing to do. All you have to do is download the Anchor app on Apple or on your Android, or go to anchor.fm. And that's how you get started. It's that simple. So if you have a message, if you have something really important you want to share, getting your podcast out on the anchor.fm platform will get you there. And not even will get you there, you'll be amazed at what could happen. So enjoy today's episode. Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple. Super excited to connect with all of you today. And I have obviously a very important topic to talk about today, but also we are 1 week away from our 4-day free simple content creation workshop. It's happening next Monday, February 27th through Thursday, March 2nd, live and recorded. The replays will be available until Sunday, March 5th. It's between 8 and 9 p.m. EST each of those days. And if you're a person watching or listening to this that struggles with creating content, what to post, when to post, then this workshop is for you, completely free. You get a workbook. There's going to be prizes given away, and we highly encourage you to join. So if you would like to register, it's completely free. Just go to the description of this episode and you'll see the registration link for you there. Obviously, the main point of today's podcast is to talk about the power of unplugging from what you do. Now, this topic spurred from an experience that Nancy and I just had. So for anyone that follows us on social media, every February, Nancy and I take a 4-day vacation to Vermont with two of our dear friends, Mike and Jill. And it's just a really great time, not for us just to connect with them, and we hang out with them, obviously, outside of just going to Vermont, but it's just really nice. We rent a car. This year we rented a huge Chevy Tahoe that fit all of our skis and all of our stuff. And it's a really just a beautiful 6-hour drive from Philadelphia to Killington, Vermont. And it just gives us that time to, listen to music and joke around and just talk about anything and life. And this year last year we rented a townhome, which was great. It was only about 10 minutes away from the mountain resort itself. And what we do is we drive up on a Friday. We usually get there around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. We go to the grocery store, we buy our groceries for the next 4 days. We chill, relax, and then we typically we have a wonderful restaurant that we love called the Foundry, and they have live music on Fridays. So we usually go to the Foundry for dinner, and that's what we did again this year. But we rented a house this year. It was about 10 minutes further south, so not far at all. It was maybe a 15-20 minute ride to the mountain resort each day, which was only an extra 10 minutes, not a big deal. And more importantly, the house was beautiful. It was beautiful, your typical mountain cabin. We had a hot tub out in the back, 2 beautiful big bedrooms, bathrooms, beautiful kitchen, all wood. It felt like the mountains. There was a foosball table. There was a pool table. Really, really cool. The interesting thing about this house is they had Wi-Fi, but it was very spotty because of where we were. We were on the other side of a river, but also severely tucked back in the mountains. And in the beginning, there's a little bit of, I would say, withdrawal that you go through. And what I'll share with you is that, obviously the reason why Nancy and I love skiing so much, one, we love being in nature. Like, we just love the cold, crisp air. We love the powdered snow. We just love the look of winter. But I would say more importantly, you can't be present on social media when you're skiing. Yeah, you take pictures throughout the day and get some scenic stuff going on, but you're unplugged. And so we usually get to the mountain at 8 a.m. for when the gondolas start. We typically ski from 8 to about 11:30. And then 11:30, we start heading back in for lunch. We have lunch between 12 and 1. And then we get back out at around 1:30. And then we ski till the last run, which is at 4 o'clock. So we get about 6 hours of skiing in each day. So there's really not much time to be on social media, to be on your phone, aside taking pictures and this, that, or the other. So, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, when we skied, completely unplugged. What gave us additional, I would say, means of unplugging is we had no Wi-Fi. I mean, it was spotty. It was in and out. There was no means of getting online. We had TV, we had those things. We were able to watch the Super Bowl, the things that we had planned on doing, but there was limited Wi-Fi. I mean, you couldn't do anything. And this was really good for me. And I know Mike, Jill, and Nancy would say the same thing. Not that we have any difficulty talking to each other. We talk for hours on end anyway. But it was just so nice to not have the normal accessibility that people typically do when you are, online and you have the ability to be on your phones and this, that, or the other. It really provided you that extra layer to unplug, to really disconnect, to really relax, and to really recharge. And I took so much away from it. And I drove back to Philadelphia. So Mike drives on the way up, I drive on the way home. So you can imagine, Monday, not only was there a half day of skiing from 8 to 12, 8 to 1, that is, but there was also a 6-hour drive home. So I'm not on my phone while I'm driving home either. So the big thing is when, we got back, and then we jumped right back into work on last Tuesday, that is. It really taught me the importance of how it's very easy to get distracted by social media, by being able to be online whenever. And it really taught me a very valuable lesson about, every professional, every entrepreneur, every business owner, we have to unplug now and again. And it really inspired Nancy and myself, because this coming weekend, we're unplugging again. We're going to New Hope, which is one of our favorite areas around. And we have a spa day prepared. We're going out to 2 nice dinners. We're staying at our favorite bed and breakfast, the Wedgwood Inn. I highly recommend it if you're in the New Jersey, New York, Delaware, Pennsylvania area. The Wedgwood Inn, they're amazing there. We've stayed there about 6 or 7 times. It's the only place we'll actually stay. And it's going to give us, again, that affordability to just unplug. And we always talk about work-life balance. Nancy and I believe in work-life integration. So it's giving yourself that ability to really live more and work less. And you don't have to do anything crazy fancy. You know, we're going to a bed and breakfast for 2.5 days. You know, we went skiing for 4 days. You know, we're not flying to Europe. You know, I mean, we're eventually going to take some sort of European vacation when time permits. But even just having a day or two of unplugging provides you so many beneficial things to your life and to your business. And I really feel that when people get so super inspired and so motivated to grow and scale their businesses, what you end up doing is you're negating your own personal well-being and your personal health. You sacrifice those things for chasing the dollars. And you want to get to the point in your life and in your business where things are streamlined and you have the affordability to unplug for a couple of days. And Nancy and I have talked about this before. We work Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. We take off Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday every single week. Now, outside of that, we still have the ability to be online on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So what I would recommend and what I would challenge you to do is twice a year, once a quarter, plan a trip that affords you the ability to unplug. Plan a trip where maybe you still have a strong Wi-Fi signal in the house or the Airbnb that you rent, but you're in a place where you can't be on your phone the whole time, much like when you're skiing, much like maybe if you're on the beach with friends or you're hiking. Something that is related to being active or putting yourself into a situation where you can't be present online all the time. And here's the interesting thing and the lesson that I learned. By the end of this trip, I shared this with a client of mine. You know, they said to me, they're like, yeah, you know, I noticed that you hadn't posted in a couple of days on LinkedIn, because typically I post 6 days a week, but I didn't post anything Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. I didn't post again until Tuesday. And let me tell you, that Tuesday post was about unplugging, but it took everything in my power to get it out there. Once you're unplugged from social media for a couple of days, you're actually breaking that habitual pattern of being on there all the time. And it really takes pushing yourself to get back on it again. I didn't want to be on social media. I didn't want to create content. I didn't want to post. Now, again, our business is predicated on doing that. So I had to get myself back in the swing of things again. But it felt so good knowing that I don't have that addictive property and addictive aspect to being and having to be on social media all the time. I unplugged for 96 hours and that pattern was broken. And I actually had to get myself back into it to start pushing content back out again. That's when I realized the true power of truly unplugging, and maybe do what we did. Purposefully rent a home or Airbnb where there's going to be very, very poor Wi-Fi. That will afford you the ability to be present, you know, playing board games or trivia, watching movies, whatever it is. You can shut off the noise for 3 or 4 days. Your business is not going to implode. So my simple message for you today is to really make sure you take the time to unplug, to recharge, and to allow and to afford yourself to always be your best self by giving that back to you. So I hope you found this valuable. Remember, if you would like to attend our free content creation 4-day workshop that begins next Monday, February 27th through March 2nd, we would love to see you there. So go to the description, click on the link, get yourself registered, and I'll talk to you soon. Hope you found value in this video. Love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much again for checking out today's episode. And if you are listening through iTunes, Spotify, wherever you are, please leave me a rating and review. Let me know what you loved, what you would like to see improved, or ideas you have for future episodes. And if you are interested in taking your business to the next level, don't hesitate to go to my website, www.scottaaron.net, where you can schedule a free discovery call with me, where I can learn more about you, your business, what you're struggling with, and how we can work together. And don't forget to check out my wife, Nancy, and mine, our free community on Facebook called LinkedIn Leads for Life. We would love to see you in there. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you everyone for your support. Grateful for each and every one of you.